Welcome to today's episode of this podcast, where we dive into the enlightening world of marketing data and its indispensable role in employer branding and talent acquisition. As a seasoned expert in employer branding, I'm here to guide you through understanding and leveraging marketing data, which I love, even if you're not that new to the world of marketing data. So this is going to be, I think, and I hope, a fascinating journey to unlock the potential of data and shaping your employer brand. So this is the Building a Modern Employer Brand podcast with me, Susanna Rantanen, your guide and coach in the intriguing world of modern employer branding. And this episode is truly a must listen for anyone working in employer branding or talent acquisition who wants to harness the power of marketing data. It's going to be educational, I promise, inspiring, I tried it, and packed with practical insights that can fit into the short frame of this episode. And I think that whether you're a novice or a seasoned professional yourself, this episode should enrich your understanding and application of marketing data in your field. And if you just found my podcast, I am so happy that you're here. My name is Susanna Rantanen, and my husband and I own one of the top employer branding agencies in Europe called Employer Branding Agency Emine. And in addition to sharing my insights and my expertise and enthusiasm on all things branding, marketing, communications through my content like this podcast, I also work as a consultant and a strategic employer brand and HR marketing partner for our client organizations who are determined to become known as top of mind employers and workplaces in their industries. And for you, I am an online coach, providing you top-notch opportunities to grow and develop as a modern employer brand marketing and other HR marketing professional using social media and content marketing as your key tools, building your authority, building your credibility as a professional. As one of the top employer branding, marketing, and communications experts in the world, I know I have so much to offer for you and your professional development and your day-to-day wonders of work to inspire and shed some light on your HR marketing and communications work. This podcast is always educational in nature, but I hope I will make you laugh from time to time too, as life is not supposed to be all that serious. And despite my introversion, I'm actually quite a funny person, and I'm not afraid of laughing at myself. So to delight you, I may just poke some fun on myself. All right. Okie dokie, as I like to say in Finnish. Let's jump right into this week's topic of working with marketing data and why regular HR marketing data analysis is really worth your time. I'm a marketing data geek. I just love to see those numbers, draw those pretty curves and bars and pie charts and see progress and audience behavior visualized right in front of my eyeballs. Is there anything professional much better than to witness the impact of your work summarized in data? I don't think so. The more data you have, the more visible it becomes how you progress, what works, what doesn't work, and how some actions have made a huge impact when others, even if you thought they were really great actions, were like a drop of water in the ocean. Now, regardless of you having spent hours of your sweat and tears on all of your HR marketing work, it makes you see how all that hard work materializes when you see it in those pie charts and those bars and lines and they are so transparent in pinpointing whether you did a good job or you didn't. And with regular data analysis, you really become so much more clear about what of your or which of your HR marketing, your recruitment marketing, or employer brand marketing content really drives those results. Where does your audience find you? How social media algorithms can help you, and what triggers your audience to activate in those ways that are actually valuable for the business that you're working. And that experience, my friend, I love to share with you. As some of you may not be so proficient with marketing data, let's start with a little wrap on the basics of HR marketing data. And I'm talking about the goals, objectives, and metrics. Because in the context of employer branding and talent acquisition, I see many professionals getting a little bit confused when they talk about goals, objectives, and metrics. And I think it's very important that you understand what these mean, because they're not the same thing. And you really need to be most concerned first with clear goals, clear measurable objectives before you focus on metrics. Because there's 1 gazillion metrics in marketing, and you only really need to track a couple called like 5. Yeah. So goals are your ultimate aspirations, like becoming the employer of choice in your industry. Objectives are specific, they're measurable, they're steps, they're like milestones to achieve these goals, such as increasing job application rates by 20% in the next quarter or by in a year's time. Metrics, as said, on the other hand, these are data points. So they help you to track and to assess your progress towards your objectives, like the number of applications received, which is a recruitment marketing metric, not an employer branding metric, but just as an example. Or follower growth on your employer brand dedicated Instagram account. That indicates your content is working. It's captivating your audience. It tells you what you post is making people want to follow your account and learn more. Follower growth is not your objective nor your goal. It's a metric. It's just an indication point. It becomes a vanity metric if that's all you focus on, because just having lots of followers doesn't guarantee anything for your business. But as an indicator that you're doing something right, that's where it works really well. Now, if those followers represent your target audience, then your content marketing for employer branding is truly working and it's pulling in that kind of audience who are curious to learn more about your place of work. If that target audience is completely random, your content marketing isn't working for your advantage, even if you're putting a lot of time and effort into it. When you regularly assess which of your content posted is resulting in audience growth, which content gets most engagement from that audience, you know what type of content you need to create even more to drive you towards your objectives and eventually your HR marketing goals. And understanding these distinctions, this is vital for you. It's like navigating a ship. Your goal is your destination. Objectives are the course that you need to keep to get there. And the metrics are kind of like the compass guiding you on this journey when it's dark and when it's light. Regular data analysis, this is not just a task, it's a strategic advantage. It's like having a conversation with your market and audience. And I know that you think that I'm going nuts, but it really is. Those numbers are telling you, they're speaking to you. So you just have to listen. Analyzing your trends, data trends, not your trends, data trends. You can really understand what resonates with your audience. You can refine your employer brand strategy, not the strategy, but the employer brand marketing plan, and make more informed decisions on how to use your resources, your budget, and your time. Regular analysis really helps you stay on your tippity toes, keep you, agile, adapting to those market changes and candidate preferences swiftly. For example, now at the time of recording this episode, it's we're talking about December before the holidays. And for the past month or so, we've been experiencing, or we've been witnessing, everyone has been witnessing on Instagram, lack of, not lack, but a huge drop in engagement, reach. And this is because of the season. We're talking about a season where there's a lot of advertising going on Instagram. First, there were the Black Friday, the Black Monday, the Black Week, the Cyber Monday, and all those campaigns. Huge amount of brand advertising going on. And now we're approaching Christmas, which means a season for buying gifts. So there's a lot of promotional marketing advertising going on. And that hurts our organic reach, engagement, impressions, because the advertising is so overpowering on the platform. And when you look at your data trends, and if you've been capturing data for a longer time, you see this trend. You can recognize it, and like, oh, it's that time of the year. I don't have to worry about it. If I really don't have to advertise anything right now, I should just, stay away, not waste my money, my budget, and just, do the organic posts and get back to the advertising after the season. So that helps you to stay calm when it feels like it's storming in the waters, so to speak. In employer branding and recruitment marketing, data is truly your ally. You really need to see it as your partner, your ally, crafting those compelling narratives and posts and messages and stories for your target audience, building those pathways for them, from inviting them to your employer brand story to moving them forward on that candidate journey. Or if you were talking about recruitment marketing campaigns, then the same thing, except the shorter journey, because it's a direct candidate journey. And what I find so exciting about data is that it really gives us the eyes to monitor the execution of our long-term employer branding strategy, helping us to navigate towards those tangible results, because employer branding nature is such a long-term that we can't see the same kind of fast results in front of our eyes as we can see with recruitment campaigns. So it can get really frustrating and painful, and you may feel like nothing's happening in employer branding. We're doing something wrong, and that kind of makes you want to do all these stupid ad hoc and random stuff and totally drop from the map of your employer branding course because of that. But when you learn to do data analysis, you can get the eyes and see through and see the signs that you're doing a good job. In the magnetic employer branding method, we use content to invite the target audience on what we call the candidate journey of the information era. And with regular data analysis, we try to figure out how to keep those target talents on this journey with our client company or with us, and get each of them moving forward on that journey to validate whether we are the right employer for them or not. So it's very important. Now, content is a vehicle that we use to enable the target audience to self-select. I find this organization attractive and appealing, and I want to keep following and engaging with them through their content to learn more. Or I've learned enough and I've realized I'm not that drawn to their mission, their purpose, their values, their ways of work. I don't really see myself as part of their organization. These are really important goals when building the modern magnetic employer brand. You want to use content strategically as a vehicle to make your audience self-select. Especially with employer branding being such a long game, as said, data is such an important tool because we are not getting to those goals. We're not even getting to our objectives as quickly as we are getting there with recruitment marketing. Data really helps us to navigate and stay on the right course and make sure that we are giving our audience the opportunities through content for this self-selection. And this is also why I built and visualize that journey approach in the magnetic employer branding method, because I wanted to help us focus our efforts only on those employer branding actions that are systematically moving the ideal external target audience members forward until they are ready to approach our career opportunities. But with that, I also want to make a notion that the magnetic employer branding method also fits with employer branding goals that are internal, that are directed at your existing employees, your supervisors, and your management, which can be what you need when you are going through a changed business transformation. If you are a really fast growing and scaling organization, like a lot of companies are in the tech industry, for example. So there's a lot of change internally, and you want to keep your internal audience on board. So that's where it's really valuable as well. And having that kind of data-driven approach helps you to see whether you're succeeding in that. Now, let's talk about the concrete value we gain with regular data analysis in employer branding. The first one, I think, is absolutely the ability to uncover the audience insights, because data helps us to understand the psyche of the potential candidates. We can analyze engagement metrics on various platforms that we use. We can identify what content, which messages are resonating with our audience. Are they more responsive to stories about our company culture? Which stories? What were in those stories? What does that tell us about our potential candidates, those target audiences? Are they more responsive to our employee testimonials or our employee career stories? Which of the content that we've shared captivates our audience? Which platforms are they engaging the most? Because tracking social media engagement can reveal the types of content that really captivate potential candidates. And we can use that information to our advantage when we're actually starting with a recruitment campaign. These are just examples of insight that we can get from regular data analysis. But this insight allows you to tailor your content strategy, making it more appealing and more relevant to your target audience, and not just for employer branding, but use that insight when you're actually hiring from that target audience. The second one is optimizing recruitment channels. So data analysis can also reveal which recruitment channels might be most effective for your organization. Are your top talents learning about you, engaging with you on LinkedIn? So use that. Does your audience come from specific job boards, meaning that they come to your career site? What was that? Where did the best quality candidates come from? Next time, you want to focus on that. What about employee referrals? Where are those actually delivering candidates to your process? When you identify your most, what I call the most fruitful sources, you can actually allocate your budgets and your resources in so much more efficient way, ensuring that your recruitment efforts are delivering you better return on investment. A third thing is measuring employer brand perception, which can be quite hard sometimes. You may not have really a good idea how your employer brand is being perceived in the market. So, you can use surveys, social media sentiment analysis, and employer review sites like Glassdoor, known globally, to provide valuable data. And tracking changes in these metrics over time can show you whether your employer branding efforts are actually improving your reputation, if you are winning and getting those desired employer brand perceptions that you have defined in your employer branding strategy, and you know what areas need more attention. We use here in Finland with many of our clients, the Universum most preferred place to work survey. Over the recent years, it has really been improved in terms of quality, this method and their survey, like the data of the report. It's really good quality data package, and it's really good for measuring your employer brand perceptions. Also, enhancing candidate experiences. Data can be used to our advantage to understand what our candidates are expecting from us, how well did we succeed, and in which areas we should definitely do some work. So analyzing the candidate journey from the initial contact through the application process to onboarding can truly reveal bottlenecks or pain points that are hurting your employer brand reputation. And when you address these issues that you find from your analysis, you can create much smoother, much more engaging experience with your candidates, which really is so crucial in attracting and retaining your ideal talents and keeping your reputation intact. I can tell you from my experience from over the course of my career that candidates are very vocal on socials. They share their candidate experiences, good and bad. And if your recruitment process regularly creates negative experiences, it easily overpowers that talk, those voices easily overpower all your employee branding efforts, because real experiences are just so much more powerful than your words. Your words become claims that the experiences show that are not real. It's not true. It's not authentic. And you really want to avoid that. The fifth one is predictive analysis and predictive analytics in talent acquisition. This is advanced level. Using predictive analysis can forecast your future or help you forecast your future hiring needs based on industry trends, company growth patterns, and turnover rates. And this type of foresight enables being more proactive with your talent acquisition strategies and making sure that you are always like one step ahead of the talent game. I did find an interesting article online about using predictive analysis in talent acquisition. I'll link it to the show notes article for this episode for you if this is something that you're interested in. You can find it easily when you type to your browser modernemployerbrand.com/podcast164. It's always the same. modernemployerbrand.com/podcast. And then you just add the number of the episode, everything together. So podcast 164 for this episode. The show notes is always there. So it's very easy for you to go back to the written text version of this episode if there's something you missed, something you want to be reminded about, and so on. So just go back there. So there's some interesting points in that article that I wanted to share with you, so you'll know whether this article is worthy of your time to check it out. So first interesting point, let me read it, is effectively engaging in predictive analytics using past and present data to forecast future events can help organizations make hiring decisions, anticipate skill shortages, head off employee attrition, and react to the next major disruptive event on the market. So important. Business leaders who use workforce analytics say that they have a better understanding of their talent needs than those who don't, and they are more satisfied with their overall HR function. HR leaders at Susanna Mutual Group, which is an insurance company based in Madison, Wisconsin, recently discovered just how valuable regular reviews of their company's diversity, equity, and inclusion metrics could be. While looking at their hiring processes, they came across an unexpected reason for why they were not drawing as many candidates of color as expected. Imagine that data can tell you this. Data can reveal you this. So if you want to find that article link, go to modernemployerbrand.com/podcast164. It's there. Okay, number 6, crafting personalized communication. Now, I recently blogged about my predictions on 4 key social media and employer brand marketing trends in 2024. You can find this post at Emine's blog, EMINE.fi, kind of like the rapper Eminem, but lose the last M. So just Emine.fi for Finland. That's our blog. Or as a link on the Shame Zoners article for this episode. So you can also find it there. So one of the predictions I have is the growing request for more personalized and more authentic employer brand marketing content. Now, the question is, how the heck do you know what is more personal and relevant to your target audience? Well, my sweet pea, our friend Data is available for your queries. Data enables personalized communication with potential candidates because we can see from data what they're interested in. What is their engagement history? Once you're confident about catching those preferences, it takes regular analysis to recognize patterns. So this is what I want to highlight. Simply looking at data once in a moon has no value for you. If you don't have your goals, if you don't have your objectives, and you don't know what metrics you need to evaluate, and you only look at the numbers once in a moon, they tell you nothing. It's just a bunch of random numbers that doesn't indicate anything because you need that comparison. First, you need to know what exactly you want to know, which is what your goals, your objectives, and your chosen metrics tell you. And then you need to follow your data regularly so that you can see patterns in behavior. That helps you to tailor your messages in a more personal manner to resonate more deeply and making your employer brand more relatable and attractive is what I'm trying to get out of my mouth. Alrighty, number 7, tracking and adjusting strategies. Now, finally, I promise finally, data is vital for tracking the effectiveness of your employer branding strategy. When you have set clear KPIs, that means key performance indicators. I'm really ready for my Christmas break. I feel like I need some sleep. So setting your clear KPIs, which stands for key performance indicators. The indicators are like trend indicators. So talking about the trend patterns, you want to have KPIs, but KPIs are strategic metrics. So they're not marketing metrics as such, even though your KPIs can be derived from marketing data. There's a difference, but let's not get into that right now because I don't want to confuse you. Just that I know that you'll hear the term KPI or you see key performance indicators somewhere, you want to know what it is. Key performance indicators, strategic metrics. And when you have an employer branding strategy that's data-driven, which you need for this, if you don't, then, you do nothing with data because you don't know what your goals are. You don't know what your objectives are. You don't know which metrics you should follow. Nothing makes sense to you. It's just a blah. So when you have that, or when you have a strategy and you have a regular data reviewing process, you can understand what works and what isn't working. And this is a continuous, like a feedback loop for you. And this allows those agile adjustment. Agile adjustment means that, we need to do something different. So let's fix and try this week. And you're not doing anything with your strategy. You are just adjusting your marketing plan. You don't want to be switching your strategy all the time. That is not a strategy. That is like a somebody who's building a house and changing the place of the windows and the door all the time. You're never getting anywhere. So keep your architect intact, those drawings. That's your strategy. You can adjust in an agile manner your employer brand marketing plan. And that will ensure that your employer branding strategy remains effective and relevant. I really want to say here that the magnetic employer branding method is data-driven, as I mentioned. It means that when you work with us crafting your employer branding strategy, we suggest, we recommend, we guide you in selecting the right goals, the right objectives, the right KPIs, and the right marketing metrics for your employer brand marketing. If, on the other hand, you work in talent acquisition and drive the recruitment success with marketing and communications, the Instant Employer Brand Accelerator program, this is something new that we actually launched for the first time this year. This is a data-driven employer brand marketing and recruitment marketing kind of put together for those organizations where you're not able to really do employer branding, but you need employer branding for talent acquisition. So this is our Instant Employer Brand Accelerator for talent acquisition. I love it. We've got great reviews from that program. It's a development program. It's not just an online learning course because you're actually developing your recruitment marketing process during this 12-week program. So we give you the process, the modifiable templates from planning to the entire recruitment marketing process to selecting goals and objectives and metrics and content and social media marketing, everything. So that's really exciting and it's really affordable as well. For the value that actually delivers you. I mean, if you were to get us to do that for you, it would probably be at least 10 times more expensive. Okay, let's wrap it up. Like a Christmas present, remember that marketing data in employer branding and talent acquisition is not just about the numbers. It's not just about the numbers. It's about the patterns, the trends, the insights, the stories, the connections. It empowers you to graft your magnetic employer brand that attracts the right talent, that retains your relevant talents, that optimizes your strategy. It creates compelling employer brand that attracts and retains the best talent. Embrace the data and watch as it reforms your approach to employer branding or recruitment marketing, driving those unparalleled results. I promise you. This is it for this week. Whew. So what are your thoughts about data and driving your employer branding and talent acquisition with data? I mean, did I scare you off? Did I inspire you? Because my goal was to inspire and shed light on this really important topic. And important is kind of like a weak adjective to describe my feelings for data-driven employer branding and recruitment marketing. I really want you to feel like this is the best Christmas present that you could ever get from me. This newfound love and curiosity using data analysis with your employer brand marketing and recruitment marketing. Let me know if I did that or if I managed to just annoy the hell out because I'm getting like confused with my words. I don't have any excuse for that. I'm just going to say that I did, and I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you for tuning in with Building the Modern Employer Brand podcast today. My name is Susanna Rantanen, and this podcast is for those of you who want to learn how to use branding, marketing, and communications for professional and business success. Now, if you recognize yourself in that description, you're in the right place. So better subscribe to this podcast and my weekly email where you get every week exclusive tips that I don't share with anybody else. Okay, join us next week again as we continue to explore this fascinating world of modern employer branding. Happy New Year, my sweet peas. Moi moi.